Hey everyone, I guess we all saw this new upcoming game Unrecord with stunning VR graphics and nice VR gameplay. And at the moment where I saw this game, I was curious to see how something like that can get achieved using the Unreal Engine. And first I thought it would be a lot of work and super complex, but actually I found some AI tools and libraries which will allow you, even as a beginner maybe, to make levels like those yourself in just a few hours. And all this will then also work in VR since it's really good performance optimized. But let's jump directly in the video. The main technology used for those hyper-realistic games is photogrammetry. Companies like Quixel work together with Epic Games now to provide their assets for free and do this in a very professional way basically. And provide high quality 8K 3D models you can easily use for your games as well. The only problem with too many of those models is that your scene performance will quickly go down when you don't know what you're doing and optimizing everything basically. But apps like Lumina AI also allow you as a normal user now to scan environments around you easily with your phone, and those can get loaded directly into Unreal Engine. And I guess also Unrecord did a similar approach, but they also combined those 3D scans of the environment with just a few Quixel assets here and there basically to make the scene quality look even better and more realistic. But they also of course worked with some camera and post-process effects, so you really focus on the view on the models and things in the environment, which looks really good basically. So you have a really focused view because the border around you is like a little bit blurred or more dark and stuff like that, to also give it this dash cam type of vibe basically. And the good thing with this Lumen AI approach is that Unreal Engine later can also help you with the lighting of your scenes basically. You can easily enable Lumen and Nerve lighting, which will bake the lights and shadows directly in the materials. Like this, those don't need to get computed on the user's device, which will save a lot of performance since lighting and complex shaders and shadows are always the most performance intensive thing. So you now only have a big amount of textures, which usually don't make so many problems when you optimize them in the right way. Now I talked a lot about Lumen and Nerve rendering, but what is it and how does it help you to build better games? Lumen is a global illumination solution introduced in Unreal Engine 5 that enables real-time lighting and shadows for dynamic objects in a scene without the need for pre-baking or offline processing and stuff like that. Lumen uses advanced algorithms to simulate the way light behaves in the real world, which helps to create more realistic and accurate lighting in real time. With Lumen, artists and developers can create highly detailed and complex scenes with realistic lighting that can change dynamically in response to the game environment or player interactions. And I also talked about this Nerve rendering. And Nerve is a post-processing technology that is applied to the final rendered image basically. It works by tracking multiple samples of the same pixel and using advanced algorithms to combine them into a single output pixel that has increased detail and reduced edges. This process helps to smooth out the edges of objects in the scenes and reduce the flickering that can occur when objects move quickly. The next thing I want to talk with you about is the performance optimization. Achieving high-end graphics in VR games while maintaining high frame rate and minimizing the latency is a major challenge for developers. VR requires a consistent and high frame rate, at least 90 FPS, to avoid motion sickness to maintain the immersion. To achieve this, developers use various optimization techniques such as occlusion culling, level of detail, LODs, and also dynamic resolution scaling or occlusion culling and dynamic resolution scaling. Occlusion culling is the process basically of removing objects that are not visible to the player's camera directly basically. And that reduces the number of objects that need to be rendered and also saves a lot of performance. The next thing is level of detail. Level of detail is a technique where lower resolution assets are used when objects are further away, reducing the number of polygons that need to be rendered, and like that dynamic resolution scaling adjusts the rendering resolution. Also, level of detail is a technique where lower resolution assets are used when objects are further away, and this reduces the number of polygons that need to get rendered. The next thing, dynamic resolution scaling, adjusts the rendered resolution based on the current load, lowering the resolution in more demanding scenes to maintain a consistent frame rate. And seeing all those techniques already working today to create those high realistic scenes basically, which are also VR ready, it makes me very curious to see what the future of development will look like. I guess the future of VR gaming looks very promising, with advancements in the hardware and also software technology pushing the boundaries of what's possible in VR. And one of the most significant advancements in the development of standalone VR headsets, which remove the need for a PC or console to offer more freedom of movement for the players. There are also advancements in the haptic feedback technology, which can provide more immersive tactical feedback in VR games. Developers are also exploring new ways to use those VR for social and collaborative experiences and allowing players to interact with each other in virtual spaces. But finally, there's even more potential for VR to become even more realistic in the future with the development of photorealistic rendering techniques and advancements of AI algorithms. These techniques could also allow for more convincing character animations and environments, and also creating a truly immersive lifelike VR experience basically. And many people already today use those technologies to present their products or services to their customers on fairs or events. Companies using those techniques already today will outperform the competition, since they are able to explain their maybe complex products in an immersive way, which is easy to understand and also stays in the mind of the customers in the long term. If you now also want to learn more about how you can make your own VR games or apps, we can help you from the planning of the game to the development later. And that's possible because we offer a full cycle development service which will help you to easily make your own games and VR applications to make your brands three-dimensional experienceable. So if you have your own business but wondering how you can use those VR applications to advertise your products in a brand new, innovative and also interactive way, we can help you to build your own applications which will either run web-based, so it's easily accessible for your audience, or as a VR application which you can use on exhibitions or events to present your products. Every VR project is very different, and that's why I offer a first free 15-minute call where I can analyze your use cases, and if everything fits, we can jump into a second strategy session where we will work out a step-by-step plan together how your game or application can get built and how your company can benefit from those virtual showrooms. You can easily find the application link in the description. So what are you waiting for? Book your free strategy session now so you can benefit from the possibilities you have as an early adopter to boost your branding and sales. Really, you don't have nothing to lose but much to win. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Take care. Bye.